This is your course summary for M94 Motor Insurance.
Now, some people come to me and they say, we're going to do this as an easy module, but I would warn against thinking this is easy. It's very technical, it's very involved, and it goes into lots and lots of detail. So it's not one for the faint-hearted, I would say. There are 8 chapters altogether. Just note that actually this book was written by 2 authors. So the first kind of few chapters are written by one person, and then the other, kind of the latter part, 7 and 8, are written by somebody else. So you can see a bit of a difference in style and a bit of overlap as well, so don't think that you're going crazy. That's just ultimately how the book is set out. So the first few chapters look really at the legal considerations. They talk about motor risk, they talk a little bit about the level of risk, and then different kind of legislation. So ultimately the Road Traffic Act 1988, which is what we're going to focus on most in this particular book. Then they talk a little bit about the MID, the Motor Insurers, the Insurance Database, and then the Motor Insurers Bureau, the MIB, and then also kind of methods and ways to combat uninsured driving. Then we get into real kind of detail. So we look at the levels of cover for lots of different parts and the policy wordings that attach to those levels. So we have our Road Traffic Act only, third party fire and theft, comprehensive. Then we look at individual policies in relation to motorcycles, commercial vehicles, and then we start to look at some newer things that you might not have come across before, such as contingent liability and occasional business use and fleet insurance as well. So there's a lot in there, a lot to get your head around. Then we start to look at kind of practices in the kind of the motor insurance world, so midterm activity, and then we come on to the second half of the book. So the next 2 chapters solely relate to underwriting, so looking at rating the motor risk in those individual parts that we just mentioned, and then also what we do with kind of the actual evaluation and risk perception of these risks as well. And then the final 2 chapters focus on the day-to-day element of handling claims. So we talk a little bit about, validation, evaluation, fraud measures, making sure that you're specifying damages clearly, and market agreements and dispute resolution and arbitration clauses as well. So it is really in depth.
So popular choice, of course, if you work in motor, and because there is so much regulation involved across motor, employers are often very keen that if you do, that this is the module that you go for.
So in terms of the exam, because it's a diploma course, we have coursework and also a multiple choice exam. So the multiple choice comprises of 50 questions, 1 hour is set for this, and you need 65% to pass. And then the coursework side of things is 10 short essay style answer questions, and you need 120 out of 200 marks, so 60% to get through that part of it.
And if you are doing the diploma option, you can check out our free video on YouTube to help you with the coursework. M94 is worth 25 credits at diploma level, and the average pass rate across diploma modules for completion is 91.2%.